and greetings unto you, beloved and only friends. Thank you so much for joining me here again. Another day, another absolutely dazzling opportunity to be patient, to be with one another. Joy V, even Shannon and Nana. It's so nice to see you, friends. Sending love to Amara again as well. I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna go and get my cards and my book of things we're saying. Thank you for the love, Shan. I'm gonna move the hose pipe as well. Thank you, Pippi, for holding my seat. Thank you, sweetie girl. Hey, Melida. Getting closer to that 600. There we go. For some reason, my brain was trying to read it as a word. You know, that the 6 was some sort of weird symbol. And then the double O was supposed to be like shku. Getting closer to shku, or getting closer to shoo. Thank you, Melita. I have a being here with me. Yeah, 600. The day 600 is just around the corner. Miss Dabs. Uh-oh, trouble just came and read it. What trouble that? You know, everybody's like looking at me as the trouble. I'm like, where's the trouble? They're like, you're the trouble. Thank you, Miss Dabs, for joining us, friend. It's nice to have you here. I'm good, tired. One of my cats woke me up at 5 a.m. Yes. Having kids, Joy V. I saw this post on Reddit today of a cat during the night, literally like going and laying on his mom's chest or neck or face, you know, like 7 times during the night or something like that. Dance? No, Miss Dabs, don't be rude, friend. Don't you be rude. You can't just walk in on someone and tell them to dance. Who do you think you are, Miss Dabs? Huh? Who do you think you are? Huh? I'm being a little bit dramatic because of today's topic. We're talking about patience, Miss Dabs. Patience. You have patience? Do you have patience? I feel, Miss Dabs, you don't. I'm me. That's who. Yeah. No, I see. So I see. I see, Miss Dabs. You know, how has being impatient served you as of late? Do let me know. I'll let you know if it has served me at all. If you let me know. Merman, dude, what a pleasure it is to have you here with us. Send love to beloved Stephanie, Mermama, to the mountains. How are you doing, brother Bay? I've been thinking about you a lot as of late. I'm still waiting for the day we're gonna meet up and smoke some J's together. You're gonna have to let me smoke some of that. What was popular? Wedding cake? Wedding cake. When I just started streaming, everybody was smoking wedding cake. And I remember you telling me about it as well. Sending you love at the bay. It's nice to have you here. I have plenty of patience. At least you can take a joke. I can? I can? Can? Really? Thank you. Thank you so much love to you, friend. 6 was normal. The zeros were ooze. Okay, maybe that's why. So I wasn't wrong. My brain was just like glitching out or something. Thank you, Melita. Thank you so much for the love, my friend. I'm looking forward to day 600. I think it's gonna be a good one. I hope so, at least. I'm sure day 600 is gonna be some sort of breaking point. I've been feeling tired, yo. I've been feeling a little bit tired. I feel like I've been fighting multiple demons, multiple battles at the same time. It can be a little bit exhausting sometimes, but I do feel strong. So I'm not too worried about the battles that are coming. Was a six. Nice to see you in the yoga, right? Was so nice. I will join with camera next time. You don't need to. We appreciate you being there nonetheless. But thank you, Melita. We'll enjoy my matcha tea even more now after yoga. I'm sure of it even. Like that yoga practice, I've literally done that exact yoga practice for goodness. Like almost 4 months. Yeah, see, actually, a little bit more now. Since February. I've been doing that practice every single day since February. I've missed like a single day when we were at Leon's dad's place, I think, the first weekend I went through. Didn't have enough time, or I can't really remember the logistics. But yeah, here we are, still doing the same practice. And the thing for me, the reason I believe the practice is so great is because I get to do the same practice over and over again. It's not that taxing of a practice. It's more like a breath enhancer of a practice than anything. And then I just get to be super present as I come into stream. It really is a double-edged sword where I get to chillax before streaming, and I get to chillax with you friends before streaming as well. Miari to you, Sovina. It's nice to have you here. The Ryan is joining us in the Reddit as well. So much love to you. I'm well smoking platinum wedding cake right now. You see, like wedding cake wasn't enough. No, merman. No, wedding cake. Yeah, wedding cake. Wedding cake's old news. Now it's platinum. Sprinkle a little bit of platinum on. Same fractal frequency, friend. I can seeing through your eyes as self right now, merman. Sending you so much love, my friend. Can we see you dance? It always gives me good vibes seeing you dance. There you go, friend. There's your dance. You're the second person that asked, So there, got yourself like little bit of a mini dance. I'm feeling a little bit tired as of late, and it's not that I'm unwilling to dance. The part of myself that's a rebel is just like really against being told what to do. Oh goodness, it's like I see the words dance and my mind is like no. No, I'm not gonna. So much love to you too, friend. LCID. I do dance on Wednesdays. Every single Wednesday I do a dancing stream out of extreme gratitude for the friends that support me on Patreon. So, if you're patient, it will pay. Kind of like bringing it a little bit back to today's stream topic. That's what I want to talk about today, and it's a stream topic inspired by our beloved Javan. I don't know if she's here just yet. I don't think so, ironically enough. But Javan, me and Javan had a phone call last night, and one of the things she mentioned is how patience pays off, specifically in the context of patience within friend groups or patience with people. How we kind of want things to be a certain way, we want the experience to go a certain way, we want to connect in a certain way, and it can sometimes be difficult for us to feel that connection that it is we're looking for. So instead of grasping for things to be one way or another, creating suffering within self by wanting for things to be differently than the way they are, to just be patient with things as they are, and to spend time in that patience long enough for it to pay, if you will. Specifically in the context of maybe you're fighting about a certain thing, a certain experience, a certain separation, a certain feeling, that is not being heeded, for example, in your family, in your relationship with your loved one, with your siblings, with your kids, even with your pets, who knows, and you're feeling a certain way that creates this sense of tension, the sense of wanting for things to be differently. And then by spending time in that patience, by spending time just being patient with the person, instead of kind of jumping to conclusions or creating a certain set of separation, we just accept it. And we wait patiently. And whatever comes out of that patience is going to be what you get paid in. Right? It's kind of a joke, but it's not a joke. It's like serious, but it's a serious joke of like you're gonna get what's coming to you. And I feel how patient you are is going to determine how much you can get. Like I'm thinking now about a quote I read like a long time ago, something about be patient when you have nothing and be humble when you have everything, or something in that context. I feel patience. Patience is one of those things that we've talked so many times about on this stream. And again, there was this beautiful understanding shared between us of how that we, how like this world that we're in right now, with the amount of injustice that there is right now, in this time, in this age, if you will, it's almost like we're forced. Like this world has a built-in patience generator or patience tester. That there's going to be so many things that will test your patience, and that is literally what it's for. That you're here to level up your patience. And if you do get to be more patient at the end of life, how is that going to pay itself forward? You know, thinking about all of your relationships, thinking about all of your creative pursuits, the things that you want to do with your life, the experiences you want to share with loved ones, all of these things, you know, sometimes conceptual, sometimes already becoming manifest, can create a sense of tension in us when they don't happen right now. You know, we have this idea, we want to make something beautiful, and then we want to do it right now. You want my connection is wonky today. Sorry, Jumpin, but I wanted to drop by and spread some love and good juju. Thank you, Jumpin, Jack Jumanji, for sharing your delicious juju. Yeah. Blessings to you too. Mel's verbal dancing is plenty entertaining. Thank you, Mojo. Thank you. I take that as a deep, heartfelt compliment, friend. I appreciate that so much. Enjoy my matcha tea. Oh boy, Joe Vive. Yeah, Mel. That sounds nice to see you. Mel is not a clown here for our amusement. He does not dance at command. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Even though technically I did a little bit, but it was more like pretending to be a clown. You know, like I'm imagining it as this interdimensional jester. You know, self-transforming, hyperdimensional, instantly manifesting of any form jester, sitting on, let's just say, a chair. The chair is made of the universe in my mind right now. Like instead of it just being chair, it's like this chair was carved out of a universe. There's a whole universe, and then I use the universe as like a block of marble, and then I carved myself a chair out of that entire universe, and then I sat down on top of or inside of the universe, and then this person is like, "Can you dance for me?" And I'm like, and then I stop again. I'm like, yeah, not about that. Maybe one day we'll be able to depict something like that. Thank you for asking nonetheless, friend. Thank you for the love, Joy Vive. I appreciate it so much, my friend. Same out. Love to you, Shan. Now that I started speed running again, I'm noticing cute patterns again. For example, having a bad time at the start but keeping it going may result in a personal record at the end. Just need to have patience with yourself, even when it seems it's going badly at the moment. I love how you friends always bring so much more perspective into the topics that I bring. Like again, today's stream topic was technically about being patient with others to me. You know, being patient with others in the way where you're patient long enough to see change. And then that change, however it may come to you, is going to be the reward. Because you were patient, you get to see the change. You get to get paid in change. But to kind of think of it, you know, in the context of self, yourself, to be patient with yourself. Ah, man, it'll pay off as well. Be patient with thyself. the reason I'm kind of getting lost a little bit is because I'm thinking, am I patient with myself? It depends. It depends. You know, it depends on the context. It depends on if I've set myself a schedule. If I set myself a schedule to do something, then there's no patience for that. You know, like, okay, it's gonna get done now. That's how it is. Not even like an allowing of patience. But I had to be patient up until the time I had to do something. You're making me think right now. Thank you, Melito. So much love to you, friend. Gateway Process joining us as well. Thank you for the butterfly, Joy V. Hey yo, Gregs is here with us saying for real, if I could wake up every morning to watch you, I'll have a daily life coaching. If I were you, I would make that my career. Gregs, I guess that's what I'm doing. The only thing is, who is this stream dedicated to? To all of you, Gregs. But technically, Jovan was the one that elicited the fractal, you know, of patience pays. You know, it pays to be patient. She was the one that put that in my brain. So now I'm here putting it in yours. Thank you, Gregs, for asking, friend. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for encouraging me to do what it is I'm doing. Like, this is my career, you know, but I would never ask you money for you to hear the things that I'm sharing, you know. And I was like thinking about seminars, you know, how there are these seminars in the world, you know, people offering seminars like a master class, and then you have to pay $1,000 so that you can go to this master class. And then I was not thinking about doing something like that myself, but almost jokingly imagining myself doing something like that, and then it being the exact same thing that I'm doing right here, right now. Only difference is now it's gonna be in person. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like ass. I don't ever want to do something like that. So it's free, Gregs. You get to have life coaching all for free, friend. You know, because I honestly believe that if we all get life coached, if we get better at life as a collective, if every single one of us that tunes into the stream feels a little bit better about the world, feels a little bit better about ourselves, then in doing so, eventually we're gonna make the world a better place. And I would rather, you know, die a bum than die a wealthy man in a horrible world. I would die a bum in a good world 10 times out of 11. I'm butchering this analogy. You understand what I'm saying, right? I would rather die a bum in a good world than die a rich man in a bad one. Every single time. So, thank you, Gregs. I'm feeling it, dude. I'm feeling your encouragement. I'm feeling your love. I appreciate it more than I can say. We're gonna be so fine. We're already successful. Kayana is joining us as well. Speaking from personal experience, Joe is one of the most patient people I know. A love bot, if there ever was one. She really is. She's taught me so much, Kayana. We had a little bit of a conversation, as I said, and we talked about you as well. Like, you, Kayana, is Jovan's friend in the same way that I have Christian as a friend. You know, and to hear the stories that Jovan tells me about you, it makes me so happy, friend. I cannot even tell you. Maybe I shouldn't. Good morning to you as well, Miss Molly. Very nice to see everyone. I will be lurking while getting ready for the day. I'm patient, almost too patient in some instances. Me too, Miss Molly. Sometimes I'm patient to the point where I get angry again. Maybe when we are patient at the point of anger with others, we have to be patient enough with ourselves to not be patient. Patience is something I struggle with. I have patience, but I also have anxiety. I don't know if it's exactly the same fractal, Kayana, but it makes me think about the suffering that there could be inherent with desire. Where if you want something, slash if you desire something, there is a sense of suffering that comes along with it, an anxiety of not having it, you know? So I kind of feel where you're coming from with the anxiety, with the patience. Because as soon as you're patient you're patient because there's something, a picture, a feeling, a way of communicating that would be quote unquote desirable. And then if it's not like that, if it's not in that desired kind of state, then we have to be patient. But as soon as we're patient in that state, we're waiting for our desired outcome. And then that wait for the desired outcome induces anxiety. Again, being patient with ourselves in that context. To realize that even without this thing that you convince yourself you need, without this situational change, without this person doing what that thing that you think they need to do for things to be better. Patience. Thank you. Thank you, Kayana, for letting me tune in with you, friend. Thank you for the helpful. It's Suba. I think I've seen you before, but it's been a long time probably. The wind is so loud, can barely hear you melt. Yo, that breaks my heart, Joy Vive. That makes me unironically angry. Like that makes me really angry actually. I'm gonna get good mics eventually. Like I'm genuinely just waiting for stock. They're not available right now. DJI has this new cool little mic system that's like a little box. You flip the little box open, it has a little transceiver that charge in the little box. You can clip it onto your shirt, and it cancels out wind noise. I'm like sorely looking forward to being able to upgrade my audio. I'm so sorry, Joy Vive. I'm like thinking about speaking. I don't want to scream at you either. Man, wind, please! Please, wind, please! Let me have audio. Wind's like, nah, fam. Software. I got exactly none of that. I don't even know if I can do anything to make it better, Joy Vive. Now, like, my eye is actually twitching now. He'll upgrade his mics to reset the win. Be patient with him. Yeah, eventually. The mics I want are just not available right now. They have not, like, they're literally one of the hottest commodities that there is right now. Every single YouTuber, every single streamer, every single person who does vlogging is buying them up like hotcakes right now. Like this is now I'm so triggered. Please, wind. I don't want to be angry at the wind, and I'm tripping out because I'm going back. It's like this whole patience, right? Yeah, there you go, Josie. Patience. Last year, especially where I was taking these YouTube streams as video and then editing them afterwards and then posting them to YouTube. I would, be watching the stream and then hearing the amount of wind noise that was on the stream, and it would rip my soul apart. Like I cannot with bad audio. I can like literally watch basically pixels like 4x4 pixels just shifting random colors, to give me a rough approximation of what's going on. And there's good sound, and I'll be like, yeah, content. But if it's the other way around, like 8K footage, absolutely gorgeous in my eyeballs, and the sound is like, I'm like, nah, fam, I'm sorry. So I'm dying inside, but it will get better in time. With patience, it will pay, I promise. You're technically one of the ones that have supported me enough so that I can get the mics I want eventually as well. Absolutely on topic. It's perfect. It's so perfect. Thank you for the helpful again. What are you talking about, dancing man? Your career is RPAN streamer. I mean, I'm a yoga teacher as well now. Does that? I don't care. I don't care what my career is, friend. I'm a person, dear Antler. That's what I'm first. I'm just a freaking person. I breathe air. I walk on two legs. I eat food occasionally. I have to drink water and I have to sleep. I wash my body. I brush my teeth. That's what I am. Nothing more. I'm not no more than that. I can have a hard time trying to gauge where the line between patience and enough is. It's a good line to try and define. We talked about abundance yesterday, okay, Anna, about giving from a place of abundance, and it came down to talking about what abundance means to us. And one of the things that I felt very strongly about is how my idea of abundance is that the having enough, to be able to say enough is enough, to have enough to the point where if someone asks you something, you can give to them having had enough. Like drinking from a bottle of water and you're like absolutely gorging yourself and you're like hitting that threshold where your body is telling you, okay, you've had enough water, and you stop drinking the water and you're like uncomfortable with how much water you've drank, and then someone asks you, can I have some water? And then instead of being like, no, this is my water, to be like, yeah, Fred, have some please, I've had enough. So maybe that's the way we can try and find the line of what enough is enough means to us. Rex Dog is here as well, even the dry story, and hello to you. What's the temp over there? Patience is key. It's like 13 degrees Celsius right now. It's not too cold, but it's not warm necessarily. We can hear you pretty good. Yeah, the Reddit is kind of shielded. It's like a little bit shielded, but my YouTube stream, it has an open back so the wind can flow through it. Uh, on topic of anger and patience towards others and yourself, I often feel like I'm giving others too much patience and I'm going against myself with it because of the anger that causes anger in the end. So, like with everything, a balance of the expectation is key. Yeah, exactly that, Melita. And I was thinking about that as well, kind of like tripping out about the fact that we allow we allow certain things, you know, even if these things do not serve us, even if these things, as you mentioned, make us angry. And we can be patient to the detriment of ourselves. And that's why I mentioned that in that detriment to yourself, to be patient with yourself, to notice how you're patient to a fault, and then to be patient with that part of yourself, to be able to witness, I react in this way sometimes. I guess I could do better. How can I do better? Where do I draw the line? Where do I set boundaries? For me, it's a threshold thing, Melita. Like I'll be patient until you hit a threshold. And usually that threshold is emotional for me. I don't know if you resonate with that. I'm happy you're enjoying it. What's my career, you ask? Me. I'm my own career. Yes. Yes. If you're like, what do you do for a living? Melt more? I'm gonna be like, I'm Melt more. That's what I do. But how do you get paid melting more, Somehow. The universe just manifests golden bars. I wake up, and then there's just like a solid bar of gold next to my bed, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Gold Fairy or something. something. I hope you're enjoying it, JV. Thank you, Melita, for the love as well. Tuesday is a big day, Mel. Day 600, Gregs. I was, I don't know if I was planning necessarily, but I was thinking about planning about something that I wanted to do on day 600, but now I've postponed the thing that I thought about doing until the 4th. Maybe it was the 6th. I think it's maybe the 6th, maybe the 4th. Whenever Rick and Morty is coming out, I'm gonna go on the adventure instead. 600 days. 600 days. I'm curious sometimes, about what I've been through, about who I've become, about who you friends have become through this process as well. It's been interesting to watch you grow, alongside me. Being angry at the wind is like being pissed off at the desk you hit your knee on. Everyday occurrence over here. Exactly, Gregs. Learning how to be patient, even with the wind. And for me, like the wind can literally be cutting through my bones. Like I can be sitting in the wind and it's like sicko mode, and I'll be like calm with that. I'll be like, nice wind. But then as soon as I start streaming and I know that there's wind noise, And you friends will be hearing the wind noise. And you friends are spending time out of the infinite amount of time you could be spending in infinite other places. You're choosing to spend time within this infinity. And then within this infinity, I can't give you good audio. And that murders my soul. It's like this little imposter monster just like stabbing my soul, being like, yeah, you suck. You fucking suck. You suck, asshole. Stab self. Please, please. Please, imposter monster. Please stop. Please. It's so nice that so many of us are excited for 600. How does it make you feel to have gotten there? Honestly, Joy V, but I said it yesterday again, and I want to say it again today. It doesn't feel real. You know, it doesn't feel real from this perspective of, sure, I've almost done this for 600 days, but technically, I've only been doing it today. You know, like it hasn't been 600 days. It has only been today 600 times. If that makes any sense at all. We're here now just for the almost 600th time. You know, and it's that part that excites me. It's the strength of us still showing up for one another that excites me more than the actual number. Yes, wind noise, not too bad here. Reddit doesn't suck for once. Reddit actually has a selling point. Would you believe it? Love you, Reddit. We have Ninja Nanner joining us as well, saying good day to all of the Melt fam. Hope you're doing well. Just got back from a trip this weekend. Had a wedding to go to for my cousin. Had an enjoyable time with the family. Mm, doesn't that sound nice? Wedding with your cousin, getting to spend some time with the family. I'm proud of you, Mel. Love you, Thank you, Shan. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get more patient, I'm sure. I feel I am patient for the most part. I just don't like being patient when it's about other people. You know, as soon as it's other people that I have to be patient for, you know, and this kind of the thing that we're talking about today, right? Like now there's a third option. We talked about being patient with other people, as in someone is doing something that you have to practice patience to survive, in so many words. Then Melita brought into our consciousness the patience of self, being patient with yourself. And now a third option, being patient for someone else. You know? Like maybe someone wants something and you would love to realize that's something that they want. And being patient in wanting to realize something for someone else, I feel is exponentially more difficult than the previous two. Maybe that's the part that, that bothers me a little bit. Thank you again, Shan. Maxine is here as well. Love to you. Servina is joining us. Nether inside. If you're not going to smoke, then please pass it around. Neither inside. I'm sorry. You know, some people might get triggered by the fact that I don't just smoke as fast as I can. It's been like 34 minutes since I've stacked this bong. I haven't touched it. Patience. How about it? We were talking about patience. This whole stream is dedicated to the idea, to the feeling of patience. You know, and specifically the fact that when you're patient, it pays off. And if you were patient enough to wait up until this moment for me to smoke this bong, you'll get to see me smoke this bong. But if you weren't patient enough, you would not be here now. So wherever you are, dear friend, love to you. Do patience. I'll smoke it right now, just for you, Fred. Do patience. Tripped out for a second. Thought I was going to be unable to light it. And then I'm gonna have to practice even more patience. And then the wind stopped pretty much as I was trying to light it. Aaron Gray, it's been a while, my friend. On the topic of anger and impatience, it is driving me nuts how you are holding a loaded bong and not smoke it. The anticipation is killing me. Everything I do with intention, friend. The power The power of human behavior, the power of being patient. It's a lesson that's difficult to teach, but it is one that's worthy of being learned. And it's odd. It's almost like we have to learn patience in the worst way possible sometimes. It's like life teaches us patience very uncomfortably. Demitard, even this Osu as well. You friends are absolutely melting me. It's so nice to see so many of you. Osu said morning melt. Very cool water pipe. Thank you. It was a gift by a friend. No, that doesn't make sense. Quit smoking that shit. Zach Wilson. I haven't smoked until just now, friend. So everything I was saying before came from a place of sobriety. And I don't feel any less sober now. I don't feel weed is something that's necessarily an intoxicant as much as it's an accentuator, if there's such a thing. It like basically adds stuffing to the turkey. Right? It's not gonna give you a meal, but it might add some stuffing. Am I butchering this analogy? Maybe. All the life lessons that are worth something are painful at some point. You know what? I've been thinking about something that Shannon said, Melita. I don't know if you were here to hear it, but I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but it goes something in the lines of suffering is but a symptom of a lesson you have been unwilling to learn. And as long as you're going to continue being unwilling to learn that lesson, you'll continue to suffer. And to think of that as almost the same context as being patient. If you have to be patient, that is an opportunity to learn the lesson that you're attached, grasping, expecting something from the universe. And to tune into a level of patience from a place of needing nothing. You know, you can be an infinite amount more patient if you don't want the thing at all. Or you don't need the thing at all. Let's say need the thing at all. Turkey. Damn, I love stuffing. There we go. Yes. I'm happy that it landed the Viewjoy beef. Even better. Suffering is a corrective to point out a lesson which by other means we have failed to grasp, and never can it be eradicated until that lesson is learned. There we go. Mm. Thank you. Thank you, Shan, for sharing it again. Yeah. Buddhism. Huh? Buddhism does have some things figured out as well, I guess. I've been thinking about our monk dude. You wanna come and sit with me, city girl? Here you go. There you go, Shamash. Demitard, love to you, friend. So nice to have you. What are you eating for your next meal? So I basically eat one meal a day. The wonderful Willy, very creative username. I like it. I eat one meal a day, and today I ate 9 eggs, half a block. My dad boiled down a bunch of bones, and you know those little flecks of meat that's on the bones. Those got scraped off into like bags, and then those bags got frozen like bricks. And then I chop one of those bricks in half, and even after it thaws, it still stays in the same shape because of the amount of gelatin that is inside those blocks. And then I consume that for the resources with all of those eggs. And I had some spinach alongside my eggs, and yeah, onions as well. And tomorrow I'll probably have more of the same. Probably. I try to eat food for the resources these days. It's I have a little bit of an eating problem. At least I used to. Do I? I don't think I have an eating problem anymore, fortunately, but I have a bad use pattern when it comes to food, where it's this perpetual, I've eaten something, I finish eating something, I go and find something to eat, I eat something, I finish eating something, I go find something. And it's easier for me to eat one big meal a day, to eat a meal so big that I don't want to eat anymore, and then to kind of try and stay in that state until until the next day. And then I do it all over again. How about you, friend? What are you gonna eat tomorrow? Again, Demitar, it's nice to see you. Greg says it makes sense, but as a fellow Jet fan, I won't hold that comment against you. Thank you for the love. Letting go. I don't exactly agree. Say my mom passes away and I'm suffering from grief. There's no corrective. What lesson is missed? So, Joy Vive, this is maybe a difficult point to share. And this is not something that I am saying is the truth, but it's something that I felt was emotionally revealing to me when I read it by a writer called Frank Ostaseski in The Five Invitations. And he basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically says that a suffering to the point where you're hurting maybe yourself, your experience, and the people around you because of loss is selfish. You know, because your mom's loss, and this is hurting me just to say it because I know I'm being naive and I'm being unaware, and it's the last thing you want to hear if your mom passed away. But your mom's passing could be the best thing ever for her, you know, in this understanding of the infinity. In her last days, being a human might not have been the best experience for her. But being a human is how you remember her. It is how you could interact with the medium that is your mom. And when that medium passes away, when that medium goes away, you feel your mom goes away with it, which is not something that I believe. I believe your mom is the same conscious I awareness that we are and continues as that I awareness within her state of existence, within her present moment, because we're all these hyperdimensional, intergalactical nodes of the same central consciousness projected into infinity in time, in galaxy, in space. Like it is so contrived, it's complex beyond what we can even understand. And to become completely attached to the point of, you know, depression or suffering again with inside the self is you missing the lesson that there is no separation, that your mom is not gone. Your mom has transformed, has transcended, have changed from what she was into something that she now is, but it isn't gone. And this is just a way to interpret or to see the message that Shannon sent as something that's true. But again, it's what we feel. It's what these things make us feel. It's what they see. It's what they allow you to see. And it's what you see in yourself when you hear these things. It's more important than the actual words. Joy Vive, I'm so sorry for your loss, my friend. You didn't miss any lesson. Your grief for your mom's loss comes from a place of love, after all. Letting go. Yeah, that is also it. Letting go from the perspective that realize letting go from the perspective that you realize that she's not gone. Not really. Not within infinity. Nothing disappears within infinity. Everything is always within infinity. Because that's what infinity is. Been here near half an hour, Melt. You just missed my meowdy at all. I didn't. I said hi to Savina as well, I'm pretty sure. But hi again, Savina. Double love to you. Actually, actually, quadruple love to you. Now you have like enough love to stay away for a week or so. But I hope you come again. You know, stock up, go on like an expedition into the mountains or something. After having banked it. What am I talking about, Serena? My mom. Okay, my mom isn't dead. It was hypothetical. That makes me even happier to hear. Thank you, Joy V, for creating that hypothetical situation to which I could answer. My dad has passed, but it was so long ago when I was a teen. I wonder if age makes a difference, right? Like losing a parent when you're the ages 1 to like 4 years old has a certain tangibility to it. Losing a parent from 6 up until 12 has a certain tangibility to it. Losing a parent from 12 to 18 probably has a certain tangibility to it. And I wonder if the gaps are like different, if if there's like a threshold that you hit, if it becomes easier, if it becomes more difficult. I'm sorry for your loss, Joy V. Both my parents lost their dads when they were teens as well. My dad lost his dad when he was a little boy, and my mom lost her dad when she was a teenager as well. I've never had a conversation with my dad about that. To ask him what it was like as a 6 to 12-year-old boy growing up without a dad. And I don't know if that's insensitive to ask. He's never brought it up. He has brought up that he felt extreme resistance to his stepdad that married his mom when he was like 12 or 13. And if your dad died and you became a teenager without a dad, and then a random dude comes into your home and starts dating your mom, tries to be an authoritative figure, I'm sure there's gonna be resistance. that's that's inevitable. I wish I understood my dad better. I see him as myself, but I don't fully grasp the fractal that he's experienced. Ooh. Hey, Diana, sending love to you too, friend. How are you doing? How are you feeling as of late? Have things been harder? Have things been easier? Have you been patient? That is what we're talking about today. You know, how patience always pays. That if we can practice enough patience in the time we're alive in right now, this patience will pay its dividends eventually. Sending so much love to you too, Diana. Miss Molly, again, love to you, friend. It's nice to have you here. Asu says, giving yourself patience and love is one of the best things that you can do. I always used to give patience to other people and not myself. I was very hard on myself about things. Over time, I learned to give myself the same patience I would others. That's interesting. That's really interesting, Asu. It was different for me. I have gone through the opposite of a switch where I was extremely impatient with others and very patient with myself. And I have transitioned to the opposite. And it kind of came alongside when I started reading Stoic philosophy, you know, when I was 18 or 17. You know, I was like reading Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. And one of the things that really resonated with me is his topic of, or his statement of, be hard on yourself and be soft with others. You know, and it's also again one of those balancing things, because if you're too hard on yourself, your softness on others will still be hard. You know, if you're infinitely hard on yourself, you'll beat people to death with your kindness. Good morning, my friends. Good evening, my meat marb. Good morning to you. Thank you, Gabri, for joining us, my friend. Chili Zoichi. Hot chilies. Are you hot chilies? Are you when you don't smoke for months? I don't exactly know what you mean by that. How are you when you don't smoke for months? I'm guessing. You'll have to see how I am after not smoking for like a month. You can go back in time if you want to and check out last October. You can keep watching and check out this October. I'm going to be doing Sober October again. Looking forward to seeing you there, friend. And I also don't know if it matters. Does it matter if I'm intoxicated? Does it matter if I'm high on LSD, DMT, mushrooms, MDMA, cocaine, speed? Like I'm running out of drugs to name. 2CB, PCP, heroin, all at the same time. Doesn't matter. You know, if you can hear the words I'm saying and it can make you feel something, nothing else should matter. Nothing else other than the experience you're having right now. It's 100% a lesson I need to remind myself of sometimes. Thank you. tuning in with him as well. How are you this day, Beansy? Thank you for the love, Gav. Oscar says, I love weed as a creative helper. I'm not an artistic person at all, but I love to sit down with a box of colored pencils and smoke. Very relaxing and therapeutic. Ooh, awesome. That just sounds like a beautiful time, friend. Thank you for encouraging us to do the same. Taking a moment, and you don't have to smoke weed, technically. It can help, but you don't have to. Just taking a moment of yourself, sitting down with a bunch of colored pencils and doing something, allowing yourself almost like some mental freedom. I feel when your hands do things, it unlocks a part of your mind. He's high on life. Thank you, Dry Historian. Yeah. Oh man, this oxygen is so good. Ooh, this oxygen, yo. Gets higher on life. And massive bong rips. It does help, Killy. It does help, friend. You're wonderfully gobbledygoo. So much love to you again. I'd say it was rough, but it was and is my reality. And it's hard to separate that. The dating my mom part was rough. My brother and I ran few off, which was very selfish in retrospect, right, Joyviv? It's brutal. It's brutal and it's understandable at the same time. The way you see the world as a child is still a little bit selfish, and I believe it's selfish because of the way we're raised. I believe we're raised at this point in our existence in this way where our parents pretend like they know what's going on, you know, pretend like they're all figured out. Nobody knows what's going on. And I don't know if it's irresponsible or responsible to tell your kids that you also in fact have no idea what's going on, because a part of me feels that if you do that, then they're gonna maybe feel unstable in their house environment. They won't know if they're safe or if things are okay. But at the same time, it will also allow them to realize that things are as okay as they make them to be. Man, I'm already tripping out about having kids to the point where I have like anxiety. Can't even imagine having an actual child and having to make these decisions for real. Can I cure my depression by snorting bleach? Yeah, permanently, I guess. But I would highly recommend against that, friend. Dying is not the option. Killing yourself when you have depression only ensures that things don't ever get better. We can tell ourselves the story that this way things can't get worse. But if things are at its worst for you right now, then it can only get better. Depression almost becomes a thing of itself, it tells you stories, doesn't want you to do anything. Maybe wants you to snort bleach, for example. And it'll be an experience. How many people have experienced what it feels like to have bleach eating the inside of their face? Yeah, picture that. I'm not sure many people want to experience that, but you can have that experience and die having that experience. But you can also have the experience of eating an ice cream, having a puppy on your lap, listening to burps chirp outside as you're walking in a park looking at beautiful trees. And I would rather you have beautiful experiences than horrible ones, friend. I still grieve for my grandma decades later. Joy V, check out Jeff Mara. I think I know Jeff Mara. Podcast on YouTube. It helps me find peace with her being gone and what's on the other side. Thank you, Maxine, for sharing that love, my friend. Age defined definitely makes a difference because we understand death differently. I wonder if it becomes worse if you get closer and closer to death. I think so. I think like little kids don't really think much of death because they know death is an illusion. And then the older you get, the more attached you become to this person, and then the more scared you become of death, and then you perceive death as more and more of a atrocity or a shame, something to be grieved to infinitum, something to be feared. I'm well. It's the only day off. It's my only day off, and I'm enjoying catching up on chores. I just washed a pair of shoes, lol. Gonna paint soon. Goo. Thank you. That's what I mean. Like you have this one day off. You're choosing to be here for a few moments. I want to give you the best experience I possibly can. Thank you, God. Thank you so much for the love, friend. It kind of pisses me off a little bit that you have to do chores on the one day you have off, but you're like, I have a day off, so now I can do my chores, and my mind is just, ja, relax. Relaxeren, raak rustig vir my asseblief. Me too, so close to being done. Gotta pick up more white acrylic. Just for like bases, or to put down a medium to put a base. Like to put down, something to paint on, or to mix the paint you have to make it more and lighter. No, that's really mattering. Being a kid growing up without a dad is very hard. Without having that support, it's really hard to have someone to try and date your mom even after you're an adult. But they're a person as well. That's the first thing that my mind goes to, is the fact that your mom is just a person. And I think about my grandma. Unfortunately, my grandma has passed away as well. My dad's mother. She had severe Alzheimer's. And it got worse and worse and worse. And I saw her really, like, the best I saw her at was before I went to China, where we had a birthday party for her. And as soon as she saw me, just this extreme confusion, seeing my dad. She thought I was my dad, as a young man again. And like the confusion in her face to see my dad as like a 20-year-old version of himself. And then just to like sit with her and get her back to be calm and for her to recognize me, and like, oh, I'm seeing her in my mind's eye, just looking like she's lost in the middle of the universe, floating, bobbling in an infinite ocean. And I came back from China, saw them again, maybe like a month and a half of being back in South Africa. I had some friends here. I took mushrooms with my friends, and as we're basically peaking, my dad with my brother comes to the area we're tripping in, and my dad tells me my grandpa died. And this is the step grandpa that was married to my grandmom of Alzheimer's. And I'm like, what? What do you mean he died? Like, my grandma has been suffering with Alzheimer's now for years, like for almost a decade. What do you mean he died? And in that state of mind, it felt like I could not have been in a better state of mind to receive that information, because I allowed myself a way to process it in a way that I haven't been able to process a death before. And that was the first death that I experienced in the family. And then, like a month later, my grandma died as well. And it was it was weird, because my grandpa's death came so suddenly and so unexpectedly that I didn't know how to process it necessarily. Like it was unexpected, completely unexpected, in a way where I thought the story was going to go, my grandma is going to die from her Alzheimer's condition, and then my grandpa is going to live a few years of his own life, and then he's going to pass away as well. So the swap of that came as a confusing point to me. And then when my grandma passed as well, I had a sense of easiness in my heart, knowing for a fact that she is better off, not being in a brain riddled with Alzheimer's. Like, it literally reduces your brain mass. It like eats away at your brain. It's horrific. And that she's in a better space, not being in that space. And I could feel a sense of comfort knowing that she's in a better place. And then it was like a month later after that, maybe a little bit longer than that, maybe a little bit longer, like a few months, that Kiki passed away. And Kiki was 6 months, 7 months old. She was still a puppy. There was an accident in the driveway, and that devastated me. I cried for weeks. Years now, it seems. So, loss is not only relative to age, but Brother Ryan has taught me something about perceived loss, or imagined loss, where in the context of my grandpa and my grandma, they lived full lives. They had kids, they had grandkids, they got to see their grandkids become adults. They didn't get to see their grandkids have kids, but rare it's a rare occurrence for people too. So in my mind, they not only did her body die, but all of the experiences, all of the love, all of the life that I thought she was still going to live died with her. But that's the story I told myself. Again, instead of celebrating, and I that's basically how I consoled myself, is transitioning from celebrating or despising the fact that she's gone to the fact that I could celebrate the life that she did live. Like, I got kind of irritated by the fact that she loved to get dirty. Like, the amount of dust that was embedded in that dog's fur at any point. You could like build a city with it or something. Every single day, she would just get caked in mud and dust. And now, in reflection, it looks to me like her little soul. There we go. We should be back. mm, I'd say, yeah, it hits so well. I'm a mom, and we've always just given and done everything for others. Now it's my turn to love and have patience on me so I can provide a better me to my daughters. Please, I'm going to put it on my TV while I clean. So much love to you. Thank you, Diana. What do you say to the god of death? Not today. There we go. Yes, Joe Beef. Exactly. Thanks for this, Chan. Going to email you today. So much love. Thank you, Diana. I've almost died a few times. No hyperbole. No hyperbole. That's how you say that word. I was only really upset the last time it happened, but I'm quite sure it's a personal experience and it's different for everyone. Yeah. My experiences kind of just came through with this perspective that, sure, you can choose to die like this, but you're gonna have to do it again in a different way later, or you can do it in that different way now. And then I'm like, oh, fine. Fine, let's just go. It's like there's no time like the present type of mentality. probably been a topic covered often, but what is your thoughts when we pass? What comes after our consciousness, if anything at all? I just believe it's consciousness, friend. You know, that this awareness, the awareness that I am. When you say, I am Greg's, it starts from I am, right? That I am. We all are that I am, fundamentally. That I am continues even when the body perishes, I believe. I don't think there is stopping the infinity. You, that I am, is the infinity inside of you. It's ceaseless, friend. It doesn't stop. That's what I believe, though. I'm not sure. What do you believe, though, friend? Thank you for the all seeing upvote and for the love, Aunt B. So nice seeing you. Narwhal salute to you, too. Thank you, Corey. Yep, it's all about balance. I hold myself to a high standard, but you have to give yourself patience to get there. I didn't before, and it was sometimes destructive. we we use it as fuel to hurt ourselves. In that way, it can be destructive. It's like we produce mud by stomping, and then we throw ourselves with that mud, by not having balance. Yes, exactly. I remember the day my mom got frustrated at all my questions as a child and told me she didn't know everything, didn't have all the answers, and it blew my mind. That's a good thing to tell your kid. Did it blow your mind in a good way or in a bad way, though, Maxine? Asking the question about should I do that for my child or not? I feel you turned out pretty well. If we did patience before, we're doing a bong rip for Kiki, for grandma and for grandpa, for grandpa Louis as well in this moment. Corey lost a grandpa as well really recently. There we go. Sweet, sweet Kiki. But if Pippi wasn't, no, if Kiki wasn't, Pippi wouldn't be. So everything is in divine order. If I don't know something, I think it would be better for my child to know that. And I'm not a sort of all knowing being. Yeah, exactly. But we can do what we can to find out. There we go. I agree. I agree, Ninja. And I would like to be a knowledgeable dad one day. When my kids ask me things, I would like to be able to give them the answers. And I would believe that I would be able to give them enough answers to satisfy some sort of curiosity in their mind to the point where they might believe that I do know everything. So, is it an illusion we break? Or is it an illusion we create? Thank you, Red, for joining me, Fred. It's nice to have you here too. Love to you. I'd rather my child have some sort of factual information, as factual as possible to find, agreed, rather than you make something up to avoid looking like you don't know something. There we go. You see how beautiful that I read that comment directly after what I just said. That's a perfect point, friend. I mix white with so many colors to get a wider selection of shaders. There we go. That's what I was thinking as well. Trying to match the colors as close as possible, hoping to finish by the end of the day. Ooh. I unfortunately didn't get a new canvas yesterday, Gab or Jovan. I thought I was going to, but alas, I'll have to wait a little bit longer. I want to start painting as well. I'm sorry to hear that, Mel. Alzheimer's is one of the worst diseases. My grandfather passed away from it. Sorry for your loss, beloved friend. I try to think about him before he was affected by it. He was that was his true self, not when he had Alzheimer's. Yeah, my grandma started cursing like a pirate when her Alzheimer's progressed. It was a little bit jarring. She was so rude. She was hateful even, and I can't blame her. I can't blame her. I only wish I could understand her more. Partly terrifying reality is the fact that her DNA is a part of me as well, which means that I'm also susceptible. That's a big word, right? That's why I'm uber, uber vigilant and possibly extremely paranoid about my health and about the stuff I put into my body. The weed is definitely not exactly something that I think is just helping. Anti-inflammatory and all of that put aside, I think there could be a better way. I'm curious to see how I feel at the end of Sober October. Like a part of me feels like I'm like in some sort of limbo or some sort of denial. Maybe denial is another good word. Where this version of me is allowing itself to smoke weed while it can, because it knows future Melt, as soon as I, go a whole month without smoking, I'm just gonna be like, maybe I shouldn't be smoking or something. And this version of me is anxious about that version of me making decisions for this version of me. Damn it. Why do I have to keep growing? Why do I have to become a fuller and better person? Damn it. Woe is us. Oh, so much love to you, friends. Thank you for resonating with me, Osu. They're in a better place, friend. It's so heart-wrenching to watch it take them. My great-grandpa got it passed at 94 or 95. It's pretty old though, actually, Maxine. Lived a very good and long life as well. It's like he was leading her into the afterlife, telling her it's okay. I feel that. Yo, I feel that. It was almost like she was holding on for him in ways as well, friend. It's trippy that you say that, dude. Yo, thank you. Try. Thank you so much for sharing that love, friend. Love to you, 1B. I've heard people who have had near-death experiences say that when they went over to the other side, they met God, and the first thing that he said was, I am. It also mentioned in the Law of One, yeah? That is what you're going to hear every single time. Because that's the fundamental truth. There is no separation. This context that we need after saying I am. I am Meltmore. I am an artist. I am kind. I am here. Right? Like we have all of these words that gives us context about what the I am is. But I am and your mind is like, but there just is. It's trippy. It's trippy, and especially within like psychedelic experiences, it comes through in a way where it's almost unignorable. It's devastating even. It blew my mind because I assumed all parents knew everything, so it kind of scared me. But as I've grown, I've learned that no human can possibly know all there is. And beautifully so, even, Maxine. The fact that we know nothing allows us to know this. Look around yourself right now. And look around without any judgment. If something is broken or out of place or skew or whatever, not the way you want it to be, leave all of that behind. Let it melt away and just look at it. Realize the fact that you're seeing something means that you're seeing something instead of everything. And that the part of you that is aware, the deepest awareness inside of you, without this filter to cut out the everything, you experience everything all at the same time, always, but in this moment. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And you need a break from that sometimes. And then you come here, literally, believing thinking you're broken. Sometimes you separated from the wholeness that you know you are. Still just as powerful. But also within the context of the limitations you accepted. You accepted gravity. You accepted that you will forget. You accepted death. Cannot live without accepting that you will die. It's a trip. You're literally here on a trip. It's like a vacation. Be present. Be patient. It's gonna be just a fine. It's gonna be, oh, okay. Everything's gonna see all right. Never commit suicide. Never commit suicide. Looking at you, looking at me, looking at you, telling you to look at me while I'm looking at you, to not commit suicide. Okay? I'll come and fetch you out of the afterlife, friend. I'll freaking pull you screaming and kicking. No, Mel, let me die. No. No dying for you. Come. Please let me die. No. Pulls you after. Put you back in your body. There we go, fam. What have you done, Mel? We need you, fam. We need you. We need you. If you hear this right now, we need you. The way that you smile, the way that you say good morning to someone, the way that you stir your coffee, the way that you wash your body, the way that you brush your teeth, the way that you comb your hair. We need that. You're literally actively influencing the infinity. Please continue to be patient. Things will get better. Seeing my parents as people trying to figure out, capable of mistakes, it's something that flipped my perspective upside down. Jovan, I see you, friend. Like my brain had to update and restart. Suddenly, no, Windows off sound, Windows on sound again. Complete reboot, having to reflash his system memory so that things could figure itself out. Thank you, Jovan. The Joe Bud reference is on point. I tried to tell myself they did their best with what they had, which wasn't a lot. That's true, Maxine. We have exponentially, literally, think about it, exponentially more information than they did. I feel this like one day I had a totally different appreciation. At what point did that happen for me? Weirdly enough, my dad never admitted that he doesn't know everything. It was almost like something I had to take for myself. Take that, mine. 777 showing, expect miracles. I am seeing a pyramid inside a pyramid inside a pyramid inside a pyramid. Now it's square inside a square inside a square inside a circle inside a circle inside a circle inside a pyramid. Is that nice? Thank you. I'm expecting miracles. Circles, squares, and triangles. Fundamental shapes of the universe. Look and you'll see it everywhere. Some say, I forgave my parents, but I'm still selfishly want my dad to acknowledge the psychological warfare he's waged against me and apologized. Highly doubtable. Every will. I honestly believe they think they were helping us, even, God. Not only will they not admit to fault, but they probably somehow believe they did us a favor. And maybe they did. Maybe they did. Maybe they made us stronger for it, but balance. The lack of balance. The lack of saying things sometimes, Saying sorry. Apologizing for the way that things have been done. Explain, maybe. Logicize. Nothing. Just nothing. Love you, God. We don't need it, friend. And if anything, maybe it'll happen if we're patient long enough. Who knows? How is that selfish? I tried telling my dad about the damage he caused, and he told me get over it. It's selfish because we want something, we believe that in having that thing, things will be differently, when it doesn't necessarily work that way. You know, like I believe that ultimately selfishness is expecting the world to be in a certain way for you to be satisfied or happy. You know, and if the world isn't in that way, then you're unhappy. And then with that unhappiness, you make sure other people are happy as well. That's ultimate selfishness. So I think that that's maybe what God means when he feels he is selfish, because we would like in our environment for our parents to acknowledge that they've been a certain way and to apologize for the way that they've been. And then from that place on, we can actually do things about it. We can work on things. You know, you cannot work on something if you're unwilling to acknowledge there's something to be worked on, type of thing. But that is what we want. We want that. Yeah, I want that. Which can be selfish. Fun fact: I am is the shortest grammatically correct sentence in English. Being and existing is so cool. I am is a sentence. Sick. How about that? Grammatically correct sentence. Nuts. Thank you, Asi, for sharing that, friend. I actually like the little bit of information. Because the entirety of my forgiveness is conditional. Yeah, there we go. He knows where it stands right now. I like half forgive him, you know? Yeah, it's like you forgive him, but you forgive him from the perspective of you can stay in that forgiveness, not spending time with him. But then as soon as you spend time with him, it's like the other half of the not forgiving him comes out again. Oh God. I see you seeing me seeing you. Is he a narcissist? I sadly think you're right. People can't apologize for something, or they don't think they did anything wrong. Yeah, that's usually where it comes from. You know, like I heard again, not again, once technically, this quote by Duncan Trussell next, where Duncan Trussell said, "The only way you can commit mass genocide is if you're believing, if you be, the only way you commit mass murder is if you believe you're doing it for good. That's the only way you can do it," which is a weird paradox, right? So our parents might have done devastating things, you know, to us on a psychological level with the perpetuation of their ideas, telling us how flawed our ideas are, telling us how out of it we are, telling us how immature we are, telling us how little we know, telling us how small we are, you know, like so many layers, you know what I'm talking about. Like that is something they could tell themselves they're doing because they're trying to make us bigger, trying to build us stronger. But if you're unwilling to admit to any side or to any fault, then there's no point for us to try and build on something because you believe you did something that was right, even though my experience this whole time was of you doing something wrong. And that communication point is very necessary if there's any growth that's going to happen. If there is true forgiveness, you know, like a resolution, and maybe that's the difference. Instead of forgiveness, like we have technically forgiven Brother Gob, what we're looking for is a resolution. We want things to be differently. We want to see the change. I feel that too, God, but again, that's part of me that doesn't want him to know because I know how much pain it would cause if he really knew. Mhm. And then again, it comes from this perspective of should we cause them that pain, believing that that is something that we're doing from a place of good, right? Literally creating the whole loop all over again. He will find out one moment or another in his body or not. He'll know. When he does, I hope that it's a learning and growing moment. It will be. It was for us as well, I guess. Remember, we are just a grinding in Warcraft. Rake, take a step back, I believe, and drink some water. Yeah. Make sure you're getting enough water molecules inside of your playable character. Hydra homies unite. Mochi has gotten into this habit. I believe Mochi is Maxine's cat, of getting jealous when he hears Melty's voice come on the soundbar. and sees mom watch a screen with his human. He meows and blocks mom's phone. Dying from the lack of attention is like, no, ma'am. Ah, 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 Kijk voor mij. Kijk voor mij. Kijk voor mij. Kijk voor mij means look at me. Look at me. Do you know aandacht? I need to show you aandacht, actually. So, Maxine, this. You need to go and Google or YouTube, technically, this. And this is not for the light of heart. It's a little bit disturbing. You're like, what horrific stuff does Melt watch? It's not that disturbing. It's basically a video by these creators called Kud. They live in the Netherlands, I believe, and they make these little animated like short videos. And it's this dude playing Dark Souls, and then his cat wants attention, and he's basically like, aandacht, aandacht, ja, alsjeblieft, ja, aandacht. And aandacht, basically in Afrikaans means attention, attention, please, oh please, give me your attention. So that's Machi right now. It's just like, mom, no, mom, give me your attention. Don't give your attention to Melt more. Meow, 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 meow. Sending so much love. High drama. Good sweet kidders. Exactly. I love the name Machi. Sounds like a schnoot I'd want to boop. Oh yes. You should see how beautiful the eyes are. He is love and light of my life. Absolutely. So melodramatic. And obviously about his jealousy. I mean, it's beautiful to see though. Like he would only be jealous if he loves you very deeply, right? So again, displays of love at the end of the day. I've been pouring a lot of water on the yard and just been watching the birds scoop up all the bugs that try and free themselves from the from the floods of water. It's partly horrific, partly beautiful. Forgiveness is in your heart and it's for you. I want to add to that as well. Sometimes the best communication is no communication, especially with hurtful people, family or not. Miss Molly, that is the patience we would have with ourselves, you know, to be patient enough in moments of anxiety with that stuff to not reach out even sometimes. Very well articulated, Melty, as always. We think the same thoughts, and when we meet, we will merge into a world-saving, paradigm-shifting super being. Half bald, half long and curly. Yes, straight through the middle, dude. Yussy, dude. But I got keep us far away from one another, please. Please, humans of Earth, never make us meet one another. Like, suddenly I'm actually scared of oh no, yeah, like like I feel if we're going to merge into the world-saving, paradigm-shifting super being, we have to like, Kamehameha or like Earbell merge into one another or something. Like we have to be theatrical about it, like do a live stream even. I'm looking forward to it, Gab. Yeah, yeah. Imagine the first thing we do. Like I'm just imagining like a creative technomancer as this world-saving, paradigm-shifting super being. Where I have the ability, like us have the ability. What would we call ourselves? Would it be like a they thing? Would we be they? I guess we would be they or them. Would we refer to ourselves as us or we? Yeah, we probably. We, yes, exactly. Thank you. Now my mind is like, how does this work? Some people do this to themselves. Neat. I guess it would be a ride. An experience worth having, right? So we would just kind of fly over the world. And then everywhere we see coal, we're just going, and then we turn those coal plants into, I mean, technically, the best thing we can do is just fusion. We just turn them into fusion reactors. Same electrical grid, but just new tech. And we do it beautifully, right? It looks like this gem coming out of the ground. And then, oh man, yeah. There we go. You're seeing what I'm seeing. Yes, I'm looking forward to it, Gab. I feel like forgiveness is for us, not the person we're forgiving. I agree completely. I feel like it releases us in a way to learn from the experience and go forward. And on a fundamental level, right, if you're coming back to the I am understanding that it's just you, that you cannot technically victimize yourself, and that you were just pissing yourself off with another person as the self, as the ultimate self, then forgiving that person is forgiving yourself, and that forgiveness is for you, right? It's a whole mind trip, but forgiveness is for you. It is you letting go of something that is hurting you actively. It's like holding on to a cactus, that there was this hurtful event in your life. The hurtful event when you were like climbing a mountain and you were like in awe of like a beautiful hawk flying over the air, and you were reaching forward thinking you were grabbing onto a branch, and instead of a branch it was a cactus, and as soon as you gripped onto the cactus, you pulled the cactus off of its base, like you maybe snapped it off, and now you have this cactus in your hand, and now you can go on this journey, continue walking on this journey because you were distracted by something beautiful and you got hurt not knowing what it is you're reaching into. This analogy feels tangible, huh? And now you have this cactus in your hand, but instead of just letting go of the cactus, you're like, oh, this cactus, oh, this cactus hurts. Oh, this. Remember when I held onto this cactus? Oh, it hurts so much when I held onto this cactus. Oh, this cactus hurts. I can't believe that cactus hurt me so much. Oh, the cactus. Just let it go. Forgive the cactus. Get it off of you. Pull the thorns one by one out and let the wound heal. Forgive it. Let it go. That's where the whole let it go. Like you can make it a visual thing. Seeing someone hurting you financially, emotionally, physically as a cactus, as a you reaching into something that was a cactus. And you forgiving them is like seeing them as that cactus. The cactus was by nature a cactus. Couldn't really help being a cactus. But you holding on to it and being like, how dare you, cactus? How dare you, freaking cactus? Stop! Please put the cactus down. Please, please put the cactus down. Stop. Thank you, Maxine. So much love to you, friend. Mm, that's so sweet. K Fuma. K K Fumai. K Fumai is paying attention Afrikaans. Aandag. Kijk vir my. O, kyk vir my. Kyk vir my is like look at me. Kyk is look. Vir is like at, but it's more like for. And then my is me. Kyk vir my. Look at me. Sweet. Gabbity spot on. I'm imagining like they either the front half. Oh, dude! I think that's even better. That's actually even better. I'm now imagining myself like bolt like this. Bolt like this, and then just like curly hair on the back. Yes. It kind of would look like what a super being would like have as a hairstyle, like just the meme almost. Like the Morbius blob in Akria. I don't know what that is, but yes, I think so. Front half bald, back half long and curly, super mullet. Yes, Gab and me are already the same being. Interfacing throughout dimensions, thousands of miles separated, and yet here now. Business Gab in the front, party in the back. Oh, that makes me so happy. Thank you, friends. I definitely downplay the hurt I have from my childhood when speaking with my mom because I know she has so much guilt already. I don't want her to feel worse than she already does. I mean, are you doing it to the detriment of yourself, though, Aunt B? Is the question to ask. Are you still hurt actively in a way where you want to say something? And if yes, then I think you should. but I don't know anything, so please don't listen to me. Same with my mom. She knows, but she can't undo or change the things my dad was and still is. That hurt. That hurts her too. Poor divine goddess. Gob, I feel like me and you have the same mom as well now, dude. What a trip. What a trip, dude. The frequencies. Like we even have the same face, bro. Hugging you and sending you strength. You, my friend, are a very special human. As are you, Miss Molly. The ability to see specialness in another person. The willingness, even, to see specialness in another person communicates volumes about the specialness inside of you. I feel people that aren't special are unwilling to admit other people are special. You know, it's an ego thing where you're so concerned with being special yourself that admitting someone else is special in ego takes away from your specialness. Forgiveness is giving up all hope of a better past. Ooh, die often. I think you've even shared that one before, friend. Thank you for being here in this moment, sharing it again. Forgiveness is giving up all hopes of a better past. I think I've even written that one down. I haven't. But there's no time like the present. Love to you. Thank you, Die Often, for sharing that with us, friend. Forgiveness is giving up all hope for a better past. You can't hope for a better past. But you can change the way you feel about it, in this moment. So that can make it better, weirdly enough. I'm so glad I tuned in today. Didn't know I needed this chat. Divine timing of divine friends. Showing up every single day as an opportunity for serendipity. Thank you, Maxine, for being here with me, friend. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. One of my favorite quotes that is kinda about forgiveness. It's a beautiful one as well, also. I also like that one. It's almost like a little bit comical, you get to see it as a picture. I do not feel special. I am who I am. Miss Molly, you are special though, friend. The fact that you can see me for what I am, for what I'm trying to do, instead of ridiculing, instead of being angry at, instead of trying to make less of, and just being loving with, makes you a special person. There are not many people in the world that express in that way right now. And I feel this group of ours is a group of very special people. Every single one of you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here right now. You give me hope. I've gotten to see my mom become stronger and wiser because of it, although she definitely wasn't always that way. I feel like it's duty to share love to her while she handles it. Sending them love still, Jobot. Thank you as well, Gobbity Thank you, Joy Vive. I don't know if Diana's still here. Shannon and Nana. Thank you, friends. We have a Sangha in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. We're gonna pull a card, read it, and then I'm going to see you, friends, very soon again. Feels like I've been seeing the same cards as of late, weirdly enough. Maybe I'm getting the same lessons. Maybe I'm not learning the lesson. I will Shanna Nunga lurk wild pain. For the sangha, na na hunger lyric, sa na na na. I'm getting strong. You know, like I love how I melt brains by going deeper and deeper into controversy. Is that even a word? Yes, that's exactly how it works. Get melted. And Gob melts brains by getting me all caught up in what words are. Dogs are the best, aren't they? Look at this little sweetie patootie. Like if that is not an actual angel, then I don't know what is. I believe there's a reason why we all found and meet in this place. Everything we see in front of us is from our thoughts within. We all desire love and support kind and compassionate humans. And as a result, we found that, you know. Like one of my favorite sayings, kind of like resonating with yours, Maxine, is that you don't find what you want, you find what you are. So from an extension, what's within, your thoughts within, is what you are. So you're not going to find what you're looking for or what you want in this world, but you're going to find what you are. And having found this space says something about you. Says something about the capacity that you have to love, the experience that you're here to give to other people, the experience you're here to give to yourself. Heart women. I haven't pulled this card in months. Months upon months. So many months. Like I have no idea what the card says even. It's beautiful. I'm looking forward to finding out with you friends. Oopsie. Wind almost took her. The Heart Women. It's like really catching onto my face, huh? Beautiful. It's gorgeous. One more time. Heart Woman. I must say, rock. And so I rock, and so do all of you. Yeah. Miss Molly. Yes, you do, friend. Yes, you do. Thank you for rocking with us. Inner knowing and integrity. My battery is on 5% as well, so it's perfect timing. This Heart Woman is filled to bursting with the radiance of universal love and light from within. She holds in her arms 3 water lilies, which represent our potential for enlightenment. And she is surrounded by vibrant, feather-like geometry, borrowed from a 2006 crop formation. She stands firm in heart essence, and here represents the biggest and best in all of us. This card requests that you, man or woman, connect with this woman of heart and your inner knowing and core integrity. How might you more fully embrace life's potential and live wholly from your heart? What must come to the surface in order for you to live your personal truth? Be not afraid, release feelings of inadequacy, and realize that by the original integrity of your soul, you are a powerful being of manifestation. You are the beloved child of God, perfect and whole, nourished and loved. Resolve today to connect with your inner knowing and the reality of your divinity. This brilliance is fundamental to all beings, and as you let your gifts shine, you also give other people permission to do the same. As you are liberated from the worry of not being good enough, your presence will support and encourage Your your presence will without doubt liberate others. Allowing your light to be a beacon of support and encouragement in someone's darkness may aid in liberating them from the shadow and dullness that holds many in doubt. Stand fully in your own inner knowing and trust the integrity of your heart. Trust the integrity of your heart. No one else's friend, not mine. Your heart. Feel in this moment. Reddit stream, dead. YouTube stream, very much alive. Thank you, friends, for feeling into this heart space with me today. I'm looking forward to seeing if any of you a little bit later. I don't know if my YouTube comments broke. I'm guessing it did. I can't see any of them. Joy V's was the last. I'll see you, friends, again very soon. Thank you for being here with me. I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.